Good morning, children. Today we are going to study about the chapter Judiciary. In the previous chapter, we already became familiar about the Parliament as well as about the rule of law. In this chapter, as per prescribed CBSE syllabus, we are going to study about certain important topics. And the first is the role of judiciary. Then we will study about what is an independent judiciary, then separation of power, and about the different structures of courts in India, and we will take a case study to understand the appellate system. Then also we will study about the different branches of the legal system, and does everyone have access to the courts. These are some of the important points we are going to study today. So first, you must understand what is judicial. In India, there are certain laws that apply equally to all persons, and a certain set of fixed procedure need to be followed when a law is violated. To enforce this rule of law, there is a judicial system that consists of the mechanism of court. As you are aware about that, judiciary means the court system. In India, there are certain laws that apply equally to all, as we already studied about rule of law, where all will be treated equally and no one will be discriminated. In such cases, if there will be any discriminations, what happen? It is the duty of judiciary to interfere and provide the equal treatment. Okay, so to enforce rule of law, there is a judicial system. Okay, so we have a different mechanism of courts in India. I will give a simple example to understand the importance of judiciary. Just you take the example of a cricket match or football match without umpire or without referee. Just imagine what will happen. Suppose a cricket match without umpire or the football match without referee. We know match is not possible. Everything will be out of hand. There will be no rules and regulation will be followed. So the role of umpire or referee is very important for a cricket or football match. In the same way, particularly in the democratic country, the judiciary's role is very significant. Now, we will understand the first important point, that is, what is the role of judiciary? As far as the role of judiciary is concerned, we can categorize their role into three important points. The first is dispute resolution. The judicial system provides a mechanism of courts for resolving disputes between citizens and the government, to state government and the central and state government. The first important point you must understand, dispute resolution. So you know, disputes can take place between citizen or between citizen and the government, or sometime between two states or between state and central government. Okay, so these disputes, if taken place, it is the duty of judiciary to sort out the dispute, or we can say resolve the dispute. So the first and very important function or role of judiciary is to solve such kind of disputes between citizen, or between citizen and government, or between two state, or between center and state. So overall we can say that all the disputes will be solved by judiciary. And the second, another important point is judicial review. Judicial review, as far as judicial review is concerned, you know judicial review, the judiciary has the power to strike down the laws passed by the parliament if it believes that these are a violation of the basic structure of the constitution. So very important function is judicial review. You must understand, and you already studied that parliament have right to make law. In such case, some cases what happen, the parliament will make law which may be discriminatory or which may be the violation of the basic structure of the constitution. Normally, you know, the judiciary will not interfere in the work of legislature, but in the case of a law passed by the parliament which is against the basic structure of the constitution, then the judiciary have right to strike down the particular law. So this is very important role of judiciary. And the third important one is upholding the law and enforcing fundamental rights. So every citizen of India can approach the Supreme Court or High Court if her fundamental rights have been violated. We know that there are numerous cases when there is a violation of fundamental rights, or we were denied of our fundamental rights. In such cases, we can approach to court for our rights, and it is the duty of Supreme Court, or we can say the judiciary system, to upholding the law and provide justice to all the people. So you remember, once again I am repeating, what is the role of the judiciary? Three important roles you must remember: dispute resolution, number one; second, judicial review; third, upholding the law and enforcing fundamental rights. Then next is, what is an independent judiciary? So you always remember, independent judiciary is one of the most important aspect of any democratic country. Like, judiciary is the guardian of the constitution and defender of fundamental rights of the people. For performance of this role, it is essential that the judiciary must be independent. India has an independent judiciary that allows the court to play a central role in ensuring that there is no misuse of power by the legislatures and the executive. It plays a crucial role in protecting the fundamental rights of citizens. You remember, independent judiciary is very important. Independent judiciary means judiciary will be completely free to take their own decision. There should not be any interference from anyone, whether it is from government or any other influential people. So court can be completely independent. They can take their own decision, which is very important as far as any democratic country is concerned. So you always remember, a success of a democratic country is depend on independent judiciary. Of course, we know that the judiciary, the judges are appointed by the government, but once they are appointed, they are completely free to take their own decision. So as far as India is concerned, this is one of the features of our country, our democratic country, that we have independent judiciary. As a result, people they are happy in our country. Separation of powers. As per our constitution, which we already studied, we have three organs of the government: legislature, executive and judiciary. Legislature's main duty is to make law, whereas executive, they enforce the law, and judiciary, they interpret the law. Next is, what is the structures of courts in India? One of the most important topic of these chapters. As we know that we have structures of courts in India, there are three different levels of courts in our country. Several courts are at the lower level, while only one at the apex level. And you always remember, the Supreme Court is considered known as apex court of India. The district level or subordinate courts. Most people interact at this level. Each district is presided by a district magistrate. State level courts. High Court is the highest court of the state. Supreme Court. The Supreme Court of India is the highest judicial authority. It is located in New Delhi and is presided over the Chief Justice of India. The decision made by the Supreme Courts are binding on all other courts in India. So you remember we have three structures of court system in India, or we can say the three levels of court in our country. One is known as district level. Mostly people interact at this level only, which is presided by the district judge, and higher level High Court, and High Court is the highest court of the state, and Supreme Court is the highest judicial authority in India, and it is located in New Delhi and it is presided over the Chief Justice of India. And you always remember on important things, the Supreme Court verdict or Supreme Court decision is followed by all other courts or any courts in India. Now you take the example of understand the appellate system. What is appellate system? As I already told you, you can see in the screen lower court, high court and Supreme Court. This means that a person can appeal to a higher court if they believe that the judgment passed by the lower court is not just. This system exists in India. It is another way that defines the integration of all the levels of courts. So appellate system means if any person is not happy with the judgment of lower courts, he can move to higher court. If he is also not happy with the decision of higher court, further he can approach to Supreme Court. So this system is known as appellate system. In our textbook there is an example of Delhi administration versus Lakshman. One case study is given in your textbook where what happened, the Lakshman wife died because of burn, and the Sudha's, Lakshman's wife name was Sudha. Sudha's family approached to the courts against the Lakshman family, and first in the trial court given punishment to Lakshman, his mother and his brother-in-law Subhash. So the trial court convicted all of them. But when they approached to High Court, the High Court acquitted all considering the evidence and taken the account of the evidence of the lawyers. Okay, then what happened? At last, when the case reached to Supreme Court, the Supreme Court, after hearing, after looking after all the evidences, Supreme Court given final judgment that Lakshman and his mother Shakuntala both are guilty, and they given the life imprisonment. So just you can take the example how the appellate system works from this case study. The next important topic is the different branches of the legal system. So we have two branches. One is known as civil law, another is criminal law. Law pertaining to protection of rights of individuals, land disputes, divorce cases, etc. are handled. In these types of cases, petitioner filed the case in courts. Justice is rewarded in the form of money, remunerations, and as per the petitioner interest, that is land settlement in the form of land dispute, etc. So in the civil law, normally the cases dealt with the disputes of land, property or divorce cases, etc. And normally the people, they approach to the court. Whereas the criminal law is concerned, cases like theft, murder, women harassment, etc. are handled. And in this type of law, cases are moved from police station by filing FIR, after which police investigation and further proceeding of the court continues. So you remember, one of the most important thing is, in criminal law all the cases will be in criminal nature, and in this case normally FIR is compulsory, and if the accused is convicted, the strict punishment is rewarded to the accused if he found guilty. So these are the two branches of our legal system. Once again I am saying that we have the two branches of legal system. One is civil law, another one is criminal law. Civil law deals with disputes of properties, land, divorce cases, etc. Whereas criminal law deals with theft, murder, women harassment, etc. And you always remember one important point, that is in criminal cases normally the FIR will be filed. Next and last topic is, does everyone have access to the courts? In principle, all citizens of India can access the court in this country. This implies that every citizen has a right to justice through the courts. Legal procedures involve a lot of money and paperwork which take up a lot of time. Poor people often avoid to go to the courts to get justice. Dear students, we all know that in principle all citizens of our country, they can approach to courts and all will be treated equally. But normally what happen in practical, they face a lot of problems. As a result, what happen, normally they prefer, many people, especially poor people, they prefer out of court settlement, because they know that there will be a lot of legal procedures which involve lot of money and paperwork and time consuming, and you know sometimes what happen, cases will take too much time and it became very expensive. Justice normally delayed, and this justice delayed is we consider as a justice denied. So normally what happened, the people, they will not prefer to go to court, especially I am talking about the poor people. As a result, large number of people, they are far away from court system because of fear or because of the money. The Supreme Court devised a mechanism of public interest litigations or PIL to increase access to justice in 1980s. It allowed any individual or organization to file a PIL in the High Court or the Supreme Court on behalf of those whose rights were being violated. The legal process was simplified, and even a letter or telegram addressed to the Supreme Court or the High Court could be treated as PIL. The children, as I told you, poor people normally they will not able to afford the expenses of court, etc. because of various reasons. The Supreme Court actually devised a mechanism, very important one, that is public interest litigation, PIL, to increase the access to justice to all the people. Actually, it allows any individual or organization to approach the court behalf of whose rights were being violated. As you know that the midday meals program, what we are implemented nowadays in all the schools, is a best example of PIL. Okay, so through public interest litigation only this midday meal program became possible in all over the country. So it became very helpful for the needy people. The legal process was simplified, and even a letter or telegram, if you are sending letter or telegram addressed to the Supreme Court or the High Court could be treated as a public interest litigation. So as far as the access of people to the courts is concerned, we can say that public interest litigation is the milestone in the history of Indian judiciary, because large number of people they benefited because of PIL. Okay, now just I am I am mentioning the some of the important points what we studied in the chapter. Once again I am repeating. The first is the judiciary. Judiciary means the court system. Then we already studied about the role of judiciary. 3 important role of judiciary: dispute resolution, then judicial review, upholding law and fundamental rights. Then we already talked about the importance of the independence of judiciaries, and you also became very familiar about the separation of power. Then the different structures of courts like district courts, high court and Supreme Court. And we already studied one case study, one story of Lakshman Kumar to understand the appellate system. And there are 2 different branches of our legal system. One is civil law, another one is criminal law. And at last we studied about whether everyone have access to the courts. And in the last topic, the most important point is public interest litigation, or we can say PIL, which made the common people to access to the court. So these are the some of the important topics of these chapters. I hope you all understood the topic. Thank you.